This is your homework helper, Mrs. Anderson. Today I will help you with Lesson 1, Hands-on Numerical Expressions. Please have your homework page ready and let's begin. All right, looking at this homework helper, here's our example. Paul has a fruit basket that includes 3 oranges, 4 apples, 3 bananas, and 2 grapefruits. Use the bar diagram to write and evaluate 2 numerical expressions to represent the total of fruit in the basket. What I notice here is Paul has 3 oranges, so it's written on the bar diagram right here. 3 oranges, 4 apples, 3 bananas, and 2 grapefruits. So now our bar diagram is written, and now we need to evaluate 2 numerical expressions. We're going to do one numerical expression that uses only addition, and then we're going to write another numerical expression that uses multiplication and addition. All right, so here's the first expression. The expression is the part of the problem before the equal sign. You can see we don't have an equal sign. We just have the part before the equal sign, basically. So here we have 3 oranges plus 4 apples plus 3 bananas plus 2 grapefruit. Now we're going to evaluate that expression by adding those numbers together. When we add those numbers together, we get 12. So there are 12 total pieces of fruit in the basket. Now, I'm also going to show you how to use multiplication and addition. As I was looking at this, I noticed that we had 3 oranges here and we have 3 bananas here. And I know that when I have repeated addition, or 3 plus 3, that I can also write a multiplication problem for 3 plus 3. So that's what this is. I have 2 because there's oranges and there's bananas. That's 2 different fruits. And we have 3 oranges and 3 bananas. So 2 times 3, that's going to be the multiplication part. So those 2 are finished. And then we have plus 4 and plus 2. And now we'll evaluate the expression. Since we have parentheses, we're going to do this part first. 2 times 3 is 6. And then we'll do 6 plus 4 plus 2, and our answer is 12. All right, let's try one here together. This says refer to the homework helper, so we're going to use these very same numbers up here. But suppose Paul went to the store and bought 4 peaches to add to the basket. Write 2 new numerical expressions to represent the total number of fruit in the basket. All right, so Paul bought oranges, apples, bananas, grapefruits, and then he also bought 4 peaches. So I'll add that onto this bar diagram. Okay, so now I can do my expression. Here I have 3 plus blank plus 3 plus 2 plus blank. And it looks like all they did is left something out here. So 3 oranges, that's this 3 right here. Then I have a blank. Oh, they didn't put the apples in. So I'll put the apples in, 4. Here's the bananas, here's the grapefruit, oh, and then we need to put the peaches in. Okay, so we added all of the numbers. We wrote down all of the numbers to make the expression. Now the second expression, we need to use some multiplication. So we have 2 times something, and up here we had 2 times 3 because we had oranges and we had bananas that both had the number 3 in them. So you can see that they've already written the number 2 down. That means we have oranges and we have bananas. Now we look to see how many oranges and bananas we have. Well, there's 3 oranges and there's 3 bananas, so we write down 3. Now this time, oh, look at this. We have to figure out how many groups have 4. So if I look up here, I notice I have 4 apples and I have 4 peaches. There's a group and there's a group. That's 2 groups. So I'll write down 2 right here. 2 times 4. Now, it asks me to write the numerical expressions. It doesn't ask me to evaluate, so we don't need to evaluate. We have that finished. So let's flip it over on the back. Now we're going to do the same concept, the same thing here. So I'm going to do less and you'll do more. Deborah's playlist on her MP3 player had a variety of songs on it. She had 21 country songs, 18 alternative songs, 16 pop songs, and 18 rock songs. Use the bar diagram to write and evaluate 2 numerical expressions to represent the total number of songs on Deborah's MP3 player. Wow, this is just like the one we did about fruit. Okay, so here's 21 country songs, 18 alternative songs, 16 pop songs, and 18 rock songs. As I look at these numbers, I have a 21, an 18, a 16, and an 18. So right there I noticed 2 groups that are the same. That'll help me as I'm writing them down. Okay, first I'm going to write and evaluate an expression using only addition. So that means I'm going to add country songs, 21, plus alternative songs, 18, plus 16, plus 18. So you'll write the numbers down, all 4 of them, and then you'll add them together and get your answer. Now I'm going to write and evaluate an expression using multiplication and addition. So the multiplication kicks in here because I have 2 numbers, 2 categories of songs that have the very same number. So let's do that part first. It looks like I have 18 songs that are alternative songs and 18 songs that are rock songs. That tells me I have 2 groups, okay, and I'm going to times those 2 groups by the number that's in them, and that is 18. That's the very same as going 18 plus 18, but in this case we're going to do multiplication. And then we're going to add the other 2 numbers that can't be grouped into a multiplication expression, and then you'll get the answer. And then it says there are blank total songs on Deborah's MP3 player. This number and this number and this number should all be the same. All right, let's look at this one. Mrs. Conrad's art class was painting murals. She had 4 bottles of red paint, 5 bottles of green paint, 4 bottles of yellow paint, 6 bottles of blue paint, and 5 bottles of orange paint. Use the bar diagram to write and evaluate 2 numerical expressions to represent the total number of bottles of paint. So these have all been written down for us. 4 red, 5 green, 4 yellow, 6 blue, and 5 orange. Oh, look at this. I notice we have some that are similar. There's some 4s and there's some 5s. Okay, that'll help us when we get to the multiplication part. But when we do the addition, write and evaluate using only addition, all I need to do is write each of those numbers down. I'll have 4 plus 5 plus so on, and you keep going, and then add them all up to get your answer. All right, now we're going to write and evaluate the expression using multiplication and addition. So my groups that are the same will be the part that's multiplication. So I notice that right here I have 4 bottles of red paint and 4 bottles of yellow paint. Okay, that's 2 groups. So I have my 2 groups, and I'll multiply by 4 because I have 4 red and 4 green. When I multiply 2 times 4, I get 8, and when I add 4 plus 4, I get 8. I'm basically doing the same thing, but this is writing it down as multiplication. All right, let's write our other multiplication piece down. All right, I have 5 green and 5 orange. So there's another 2. So you'll write the next section of multiplication right here in parentheses. And then any that are not circled or don't have like a duplicate, like this one, 6 by itself, you'll write down 6. There aren't any other groups that have 6. And then get the answer. So Mrs. Conrad has a total of blank bottles of paint. This number, and this number should all be the same. Thanks for watching this homework helper video. If you have questions, feel free to ask me tomorrow at school.